What's up? What's up? It's your boy Sean P back again with another edition of Hip Hop Roundtable Reviews. Yes, I've been on a little bit of a hiatus. I've been tied up with work and been doing a lot of traveling of late. So I hadn't really gotten a chance to catch up on all the exciting hip hop news that has been going on in the last year and up to this year, in 2026, which has had a very exciting first quarter, with some very exciting albums that came out, a couple of back and forths and beats with T.I. and 50 Cent. It's been very interesting, to say the least. But tonight I want to come back and I want to address a topic that really has been of interest in hip hop media, I would say, in the last couple of weeks or so. And it's centered around the hype behind the Drake Iceman album. Now, we've covered the Iceman album plenty of times. I mean, my esteemed colleague, Funeral Man, when he comes on, he's the leading expert on Drake and Kendrick Lamar. We've talked about Iceman at length, you know what I mean? And the hype around it has created so many different narratives now about, Drake, and it's gone into how Drake has influenced this current year hip hop without even being really in the process. You know what I mean? He really hasn't been out as much. He's kind of taken a hiatus since the failed rollout of last summer. But we're going to get to Iceman in a minute. But first, I want to talk about some of the, I'd say, notions that, hip hop has slowed down without Drake really being a prominent figure in the mainstream in the last year, which is kind of a myth. And I'm going to break that down a little bit. But at first, I really want to go and talk about the real topic. Has hip hop really slowed down without Drake in the mainstream? And really want to take a look at that. I'm going to take a little bit of a deep dive and explain, why I think hip hop is better than ever without Drake. You know what I mean? And we're really going to delve into that, So I'm going to start first with I share this clip from the Breakfast Club, courtesy of the Breakfast Club. Hold on a minute. And this is going to explain it in detail with a comment from Isaac Hayes III that was then followed up by Game on Twitter, the rapper Game, which we talked about earlier this year, about hip hop being down without the presence of Drake in the mainstream. So let's talk about it.
And I saw the Game respond. So Isaac Hayes posted the Kendrick Drake beef killed commercial rap music. It turned hip hop into an engagement art form, not a chart performing one. Everyone showed up, debated, replayed, picked sides, ran the numbers up. Meanwhile, the Billboard Hot 100 kept moving. The beef fed the masses and killed the charts. So I see why labels are cutting back. Talking about people getting fired at labels in the hip hop sector. Black folks would rather tear down artists from both sides when collaboration is what drives expansion. Now, the Game reposted this and he says, y'all ain't appreciate one of the greatest. Now the absence and silence has the art form down 50%. And he's saying that we didn't appreciate Drake. So now, hip hop music is down 50% across the charts.
Well, when people have these conversations, they have to show me the numbers because I don't believe the charts are a reflection of the health of the genre. And when Game says the numbers are down 50%, where?
Yeah.
Like, show me the data. Like, if you can show me the numbers that say that, I'll shut up. But I mean, as far as I see, R&B and hip hop has maintained its position as the most streamed and most consumed music genre in the U.S. since 2017.
Yeah, so there are a couple of things I want to address with this, and we're going to get into Wayno's comment. I'm also going to use Wayno, shout out to Wayno and his podcast, to address this situation with hip hop in the mainstream. First of all, the Game actually miscontextualized what Isaac Hayes was saying. Isaac Hayes III was basically saying that the battle between Kendrick Lamar and Drake created such an excitement that people were actually, enticed to listen to more hip hop, and the numbers were up, created such a fever, with them going back and forth, which I agree. Hip hop was maybe at its highest point, definitely this decade, during the beef. And last year, it kind of created a lull. Once the beat was finally over, I think really after the Super Bowl with Kendrick's performance, it kind of took a hiatus as far as what it was really, really doing. You know what I mean? But the reason why that is, well, it's a couple of things. First of all, Game, and I agree with Charlamagne, throwing out a 50% number. It's down 50%. He doesn't have any metrics to back that up. He just threw that number out there, which is total bullshit, just because he wants to support Drake. I mean, obviously we know he's, you could call him compromised because he's homies with Drake. You know what I mean? But there's nothing to back that up. And on top of that, we mentioned that Drake had a whole rollout last year. He put out 3 singles. You know what I mean? He put out 3 singles last year. What Did I Miss? Which One? And another song with Yeet. He also put out a song, Mr. Recoup, with 21 Savage. You know what I mean? Which flopped. Which basically shows, people, are they really feeling Drake? You know what I mean? So it's not like the man was totally out there, but see, the Game wanted to make it about Drake, but I think people wanted to hear what Drake was going to do in response to Kendrick Lamar, because all of the other stuff that he put out wasn't interesting. He put out a whole YouTube series behind Iceman, and he put out more music. He put out a whole lot more music. He also had Nokia, which was a number 2 hit, not number 1. On top of that, he put out Sexy Songs for You, which had Give Me a Hug, which referenced Kendrick Lamar. He put out a lot of music last year. So if the Game was, hip hop was down 50%, it was down 50% with the Game, with not Game, but to reference Game's comment, with Drake in it. So, I mean, it's almost like he's talking in circles. And the thing about it is that Isaac Hayes III is basically referencing it's down because of the beef, not because of Drake's absence. Game wanted to make this about Drake, which shows total bias on his part. We'll talk a little bit more about this. And I'm going to get into detail with what Wayno has to say.
Genre leads with 25 to 27% of all total music consumption on streaming.
Yeah, show me the Carfax. You got to cite your sources when you start saying stuff like that. And I love Isaac Hayes and I love his app that he has, but you got to be able to show where you're getting this information from.
Well,
right?
Isaac was more of a feeling, it felt like.
Okay.
Game actually put a number out there.
Yeah.
Like, where's that number at?
And he put out a fake number because where are those stats that you're showing that for? You just wanted to throw that number in thin air and out of thin air, and basically Isaac Hayes III, I agree with him. He basically is just speaking what he feels. You know what I mean? Which there's a little bit of a truth to it, But the thing about it is that and I'll go on because we're going to get into Wayno's comments about this. What I really think it is that I do think that the Game was down, you know what I mean, a little bit. Hip hop Game was down a little bit, but I think it was because of the cooling off period from the beef, and hip hop wanting to go in another direction. I call this year the Great Reset. I think really once we turned over into 2026, hip hop got reset, and I'll get into why hip hop is doing just fine without that. or without Drake. But I want to speak to a couple of factors as to why there was a reset in hip hop. And I'm gonna add, here comes my homie Reese right now. Of course, the resident expert on Drake and Kendrick. And of course, we're going to talk about how Drake's, downplay in the mainstream, how it really is affecting hip hop right now. So what's up? What's up, man? We started a little bit early, man, but basically, yeah, we're getting into this commentary. I just played Charlemagne's clip about what Game and Isaac Hayes III said about hip hop being down 50% because of Drake's absence from hip hop, which was totally debunked because Drake put out 3 singles, a feature, and a whole collab album last year. So if it was down 50%, it must have been down 50% with Drake in it, right?
Yeah.
So I just got to get your feeling off of that first before I get to Wayno's comments on to why hip hop kind of had a changeover after the beef.
Yeah, man. The issue is people just don't want to just actually say that like Drake kind of fell off. That's basically what it is. Like everybody wants to feel like he's some type of savior or something. Like I don't understand where this all came from. Like I guess I kind of chalk it up to people kind of want, like, they so used to mediocrity hip hop. Now they kind of want that feeling back. Like, because people just like, I feel like niggas want to dance. Like they want to do the that. Like, it's like, that's how I feel. I feel like nobody wants like real actual hip hop. Like, I put it to you like this. Within the last year, we haven't gotten no melody raps.
That is true.
All the raps that we have gotten is, I don't know what happened. All the rap that we have gotten is basically pure hip hop for the most part.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to count Baby Keem, I mean, he's a young artist. You already know what he do.
We're going to talk about Baby Keem in a minute. You're right.
Yeah, but most of that is rap.
Yeah.
And his album is pure hip hop if you think about it. But the Clips, Kendrick, what's his name? Chance the Rapper, Wale, Baby Keem, all of these,
Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist too.
Freddie Gibbs,
the list goes on.
The list goes on to all of these rappers who are actually rapping again, who have actually pretty good. Tyler, the Creator, who actually have really good albums and really good music. J. Cole.
Yeah.
All of these albums are really good albums. So what's the point of people saying we need Drake back? For what? What do we need?
Let's take a look. Let's take a look first. I mean, we addressed it, a little bit, and I addressed it before that he put out 3 main singles, a feature with 21 Savage with Mr. Recoup that did nothing, Sexy Songs for You. But have we really missed Drake, or do people just not feel Drake like we used to? You know what I mean? There is something different about this. He had a whole album rollout last summer that went nowhere, where he had to he actually had to what's the word? He had to re-roll out the rollout. Yeah.
What I don't understand is, how do we get to this point where people are begging for mediocrity again?
Yeah.
Like every album that I mentioned is better than every last Drake 5 albums. Every one of them.
Yeah.
So all of those albums are better than every Drake's last 5 albums. And even Drake himself knows that he ain't really been doing so hot, because when Joe Buttons called him out on that first person of the first All the Dogs, he went back and did 6 rap songs. He re-released that album. re-released it with 6 new rap tracks. It's like, wait a minute, you ain't rap, bro. We need this rap back. So my thing is like, I just don't get why people feel as though they have to put him on a pedestal. Like, is it? And then another thing too, I can't wrap my head around it is people acting as if that battle didn't affect him. If the battle didn't affect him, then why he released 48 songs, 48 since the battle.
Yeah.
So if you release 48 songs since the battle and everybody's saying we need you back, how are you saying that the battle didn't affect him? I don't understand it. It just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. But
we need him back they need him back in the way Drake used to be, which is not the same as it used to be because he's obviously had a dent in his career since the battle. I mean, and that's on him. That's not on everybody else. See, this is the other thing too, right? There is this narrative out there that, well, it's Kendrick's fault because he's not carrying the mainstream game and he's not putting music out. Wait, hold on a minute. The man had the biggest hip hop tour of all time. He had the biggest Super Bowl performance of all time. What more do you want him to do? I mean, he had a feature on Baby Keem's album, which is pretty good, and Baby Keem's album received a lot of critical acclaim. What more do you want? Like, how is this Kendrick's fault? Why? Because he put out good hip hop?
I think it is with Kendrick, and I only could come to this conclusion. People can't believe Kendrick Lamar beat Drake. They just can't believe it. I think that Kendrick Lamar has surpassed Drake in so many areas. It's insane how people don't even count or talk about these. They say that Drake is the biggest artist in the world, but Kendrick Lamar has done more stadiums than Drake has never done a stadium, actually. So Kendrick Lamar has done all stadiums, 80,000 people at these events. Kendrick Lamar is a spectacle. Drake is a big artist, but Kendrick Lamar is a spectacle. You was at one of the concerts. I
saw that show in real time.
You seen it in real time. You know what I'm saying? So you know it's so. My thing is when people say these things, I think that people got to the point where nothing impresses them anymore. I'm really starting to believe that I think we kind of got to the point in hip hop where only thing that impresses people is how many hits you got. They want Drake to break that Michael Jackson record so bad.
Yeah.
If he breaks the record, the problem with Drake's songs, in my opinion, with the problem with his songs, is they'll do good for a week or two, and then that's it. They fall off the charts. And I have to chalk that up to him just being popular. Yeah. I don't think that these songs are actually good songs. You know what I'm saying? Like, First Person Shooter was a good song. I like that song. It was a good song. J. Cole, to me, carried that song. But when you break it down to, let's say, all of the other songs that he had that actually reached, he hasn't had a number one since 2018 outside of First Person Shooter. All the rest of the songs, Nokia is not even his song. That's a song from a young boy in Nigeria. I mean, Sierra Leone. He took that song from him. He heard it on Instagram.
You know, the reference tracks. We know all the narratives around.
Yeah,
that.
And it's not wrong. That's what he does. He brought the song. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But here's the crazy part about that. Some Sexy Songs for You was supposed to be an album with him and Party Next Door. Him and Party Next Door did an album, and Drake did all the lead singles, and Drake released 2 of the singles. Party Next Door wasn't even in the video.
And I feel sorry for Party Next Door because he is a really talented artist. And it's a shame he doesn't get any type of shine because people wanted to hear what Drake had to say post-battle. You know what I mean? So that's really
an album, an R&B album, and you're dissing Kendrick on it.
It's a joke.
Why?
But let's get back. Let's talk a little bit about, post-battle. What is up with the mainstream? And I want to get back to what you said about the mediocrity and people want mediocrity, but why is that? You know what I mean? And I think I have an explanation for that. I'm gonna play a clip by Wayno. Let me know what you think about this, Reese, about what the major labels are doing as far as finding talent and curating talent, but also I think why there's a reset in hip hop now as to what really dictates what a hit is and what good music is. So check this out.
On it's totally about numbers. It's not about culture. So you could get somebody who makes a silly or fun song in their bathroom or in their crib and makes up a dance to it, and that's not for everybody because there are some songs.
He's talking about this era, the TikTok era, the social media era, you know, the viral era. So that's what he's talking about in reference to.
That come with dances that have been fun and have lasted. But you get motherfuckers that make these songs or whatever, and people started investing. They started heavily investing in research only. Now, research does work sometimes. Don't get it twisted. There's a lot of people that have been signed off for research and it has worked. But there's a lot of people who have also had their talent curated. And the problem with labels today is niggas don't want to put in the work. Niggas do not want to put in the work. They want you to do all the work. And by the time you get over to me and I sign you, all I got to do is tell somebody to post you or do something with you. And those platforms has changed. And those platforms, while they've changed, they open up the playing fields for everybody. You have all of these different mic performance platforms. We don't have no 106 in Parks, no MTV, Yo MTV Raps. We don't have a lot of people doing interviews because artists don't no longer see value in people who can interview them. They rather go do a stream with somebody. And while the stream is showcasing a person's goofiness or their personality, nobody gives a fuck and goes back and listens to the music. So when we say, oh, I see why labels are cutting back, it's not because of that. It's because over the past 7 to 8 years, niggas have made a lot of bad investments in a lot of these artists. A lot of the artists that people have invested in haven't turned into any stars. Let's keep it 100. They haven't turned into a lot of stars. And if we go over the amount of money, I'm talking about $1 million deals. There's $1 million deals. I once was working with a company, not QC, and they gave some nigga $1 million deal. And I was like, I didn't even know who this person was prior nor after. Gave him $1 million deal and nothing came out of it. So what happened to hip hop and was decreased hip hop to me is this: the death of the boutique label. Yes, niggas don't sign to people no more. They don't see value in that. You used to go to a boutique label like a Rough Riders or a Cash Money or a Young Money or whoever, and they would curate the talent. You feel me? They would build and curate the talent.
And yeah, I'll stop it there. There's a lot to digest in that. But basically, what do you think about Wayno saying that really the mediocrity that people see in these in music and people settling for mediocrity is really kind of the major labels' fault, being lazy, not curating these artists, not developing these artists, and relying too much on social media and streaming to tell the labels, okay, we're interested in this person. Let's give that person $1 million, and they're fucking it up. And there is truth to that because since 2020 and since the Kendrick, Drake era of stars, all of those, you know, artists from the SoundCloud era, the Little Pumps of the world, the 21 Savage of the world, the Little Babies of the world, they haven't got over the hump. They're just another artist now. They're not superstars. Do you agree with that?
It's too all right. So here's the thing that people got to understand. I don't always put all the ownership on the labels.
Yeah.
One of the major reasons why I don't ever do that is because the labels are basically the power source. They're basically, and everything else comes to them. The labels are going to go with what they think is trendy. They don't care about the artists. They don't care about whatever is hot and make them money. That's what they're going to go with. Yeah. You could rap about cheeseburgers. If it's a trendy song, look, chicken noodle soup with a soda on the side, right? You remember that song?
Right about that, yeah.
They're going to go with whatever is trendy. And it's always, I would say the internet magnified it. But we always had this social media music since the internet started. When MySpace started, we had the internet.
Yeah, the MySpace era. You're
right. MySpace era. Then the Facebook era came in, and then people start using it to their advantage. I remember when they used to call Joe Buttons, they used to call him an internet rapper. Remember all those things? So you just an internet rapper. Now everybody's an internet rapper. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's right. I think he's right about it. But I don't put the ownership on the what's the name, because the labels are gonna go with whatever they think is hot. They think this is hot because the labels don't care about the culture of hip hop. They only care about making money off the culture. What it comes down to is the older rappers like Nas, Jay-Z, Eminem, all of them. It's really nothing you can, at this point, is nothing they can do. It's nothing these rappers could do because you can't really tell a person how to rap. You can't do this. I think that we just lack the talent now. Because I think that the talent level of somebody, let's say somebody like Kendrick, somebody like J. Cole, somebody like, let's say Freddie Gibbs, the talent level is so high that these other rappers can't reach that. They can't reach Drake and all of them, and not to count that. Like I would say, Jid and Tyler the Creator and Baby Keem, but that's only 3 people out of all of these artists out there. We could say Doechii, you know what I'm saying? But outside of that, none of these rappers really know how to make music. They only know how to make jingles. They don't know about hooks. They don't know what this. They
but,
just
but that's kind of what Wayno was saying is
no, I agree. I agree with what he's saying.
There's no curation. They're not curating and developing these artists into being that next level. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying to you. Who should be the person developing these artists?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do put it on the labels. Well, this is the way I see it. I think this year was a great reset. I think whatever down period in hip hop, which I think is a myth because I think hip hop is doing just fine. Whatever down period we experienced last year was the labels resetting themselves because I don't know how they don't know how to promote artists now. I think they're trying to work that through and think that process through as to, okay, how do we get back to what it used to be? And my feeling is that the streaming way of doing things, the going viral culture, I think that's going to die out. That's my opinion. And I think that the hip hop labels are going to go back to the older way of doing things, the traditional rollout. We're gonna pump these artists up that I think or they think are more on talent, more on song making. You don't see it really yet, but in a deeper dive, I think this is the result of the SoundCloud era. The mumble rap era killed hip hop. It made hip hop listeners lazy. It made hip hop listeners listen to the wrong things and listen to the things that really, like you said, were just jingles. You know what I mean? We're just, about going viral, just about clout. And I think now a lot of the younger generation hip hop listeners, especially the Gen Z and under, they're used to that now. So they'll give props to a mediocre Drake album or a song from Drake that is just okay or trash, or a Sexy Red, Pound Town. You know what I mean? I think the mumble rap SoundCloud era, the era of Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Pump, 21 Savage, they did that. It's their fault. But it took the record labels to invest in that nonsense for that to happen. So the labels played a part in that. But what I do think is the battle reset the game. And I think now, which we're going to get into, I think hip hop is better, and I think talent is coming back. That's my opinion on it.
Well, all right. So this is what I'm gonna say to you, and I think a lot of people are not paying attention to this part of it.
Yeah,
we are now in the beginning stages of AI music.
Okay.
A lot of people don't understand this. I have an AI artist myself, me. Now you know I can rap, but I actually wrote songs for my AI artist. I'm gonna let you hear some of them. I'm a premiere.
Yeah.
But and it's not to say I can't do the things that it does, but the thing is, the way the record labels see this, once these laws gets passed for this AI music, I'm telling you now, you're gonna have to be extremely good to compete with these people. Because I don't know what they did, but I'm not even gonna go into it. I'm just gonna say a lot of people are not paying attention to that. Just remember when I'm telling you this, in the next 5 years, you're gonna be like, you was right. I'm telling you, because the way AI works, you can write, you yourself, you're not a rapper. You can literally write something, put it in a generator, and it'll make everything for you in 5 minutes. Everything, the beat, and it's mixed and mastered and everything in 5 minutes.
That's
So-
ghostwriting on a whole nother level.
That's what I mean. This Timbaland has an AI artist,
Yes.
which is doing pretty good. So people got to understand, the record labels see that coming, they're gonna take full advantage of that. Because we don't have to pay this AI artist. It's kind of like hiring somebody to for jobs, like, you know,
Like a robot, yeah.
for jobs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that that's why you kind of see, because I'm gonna be honest with you, outside of Kendrick, I could see Drake using AI. I can
Yeah.
see he already did it on Taylor Made Freestyle.
Yeah.
Snoop and what's the name? Outside of him, and I'm telling you, you probably you got to understand how big this is. I think a lot of people are just not talking about it yet. But outside of Kendrick and a couple other rappers who actually have different ways of rapping, they have a distinguished voice and they can switch it up, you're going to start to see a lot of artists actually use AI for their material. You'll
That's
see.
a whole other show. We
That
didn't talk
is
about
a whole other show. I just wanted to
that.
point.
That's a deeper
Yeah.
dive, because that's basically beyond a cheat code. That's
Bro.
beyond a cheat code, man. But
telling you,
And-
it's crazy, bro.
and this generation, they don't care about if you pen your own game anymore. It's at the point now, it's like, just as long as it's good music. I mean, we see it with Drake, you know. If it's good music, we're gonna listen. You know what I mean? But I think there is other side to it of what defines what's good music and what the mainstream consumes. And I think the labels have to take that into account. And I think they fucked up with the mumble rap era. And I think the reset has happened now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
I do agree with that. Now we're gonna get into something, but in the words of Drake, what did I miss? Has hip hop been better without Drake in the mainstream? And I'm gonna get back to Wayno's point where he's gonna bring up some points, and you referenced it earlier too. I think the game's just fine, man. I like hip hop now. I love the energy that has come in 2026. I'm liking this year in hip hop. I'm liking a lot of the projects that drop. I think variety and talent is coming back. I don't know about, what do you think? You know what I mean?
You know what it is, and the reason why people keep putting Drake up, because they lazy. They looking for somebody to follow.
Well, yeah, and it's the lazy listener era from that mumble rap.
Well, I'm
type
talking
of
about the
era
artists.
listener, yeah.
I'm talking about the artists. All the artists that's coming out saying that they need Drake back and it's better with him, they're lazy. Like,
Oh yeah,
I put it like this. Game is a pretty good rapper, but he's so invested in trying to make Drake number one that he forgets that he actually he can move. You know what I'm saying? But in my opinion, like you said, hip hop is definitely fine. I think people want to see what he does because of that battle. Like, it's been 2 years, dog. Like, come on.
well, we're gonna get to the propaganda in a minute.
Yeah.
But why is hip hop doing well? You know, so let's get back to Wayno and his comments on this. I'll take
And
it.
the label who was the investment genre in music, 25% of all US streams are made up of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So when niggas start talking this, oh, hip hop is down, let's keep in mind also, we just watched the Grammys, which not as if the Grammys that is supposed to determine what hip hop culture deems as the shit or not. But if we go back to the rap albums of the year, you got Kendrick Lamar in there, you got
That's
Glorilla,
right.
you got the Clips, You got
Classic.
JID. You feel me? Just to name a few. Now there's others that could have been nominated that I felt should have been nominated. But keep in mind that is all hip hop, and we was into these albums. So what the fuck is niggas talking about? 50%, 50%, 50%. And now let's go over to the charts, because that's another thing that niggas love, right? So if we go to the charts and we just go through a couple of records that are currently, you know what I mean, currently doing really well. Keep in mind, Pooh Shiesty's FDOY is now the most controversial record of this year. That shit hit number 12 and peaked at number 12 on the Billboard Hot 100. So because it didn't make the top 10, now hip hop is down 50%. No, what's happening is niggas is scared to drop and niggas don't want to work with nobody. Because guess what also happened? The way people sign people, all of these backdoor plays, all of this. No, sign to me. I run a blog. Just sign to me and I could run you up on all the blogs. Or sign to me. I could run all your digital marketing. I could just run all your digital marketing and sign to me. And most of these people who are great at doing fucking social media content or running social media algorithms, these niggas is not music people. And the music business allowed all of these people to come in and now have the gatekeeping ways of getting label deals, because that's what, they're doing all the videos for this artist, or they're posting all the videos and they're driving the algorithm up. Give them a label deal. Does this nigga have any experience, or do they have any experience with running labels? No, but you give them label. Y'all done gave these niggas all these label deals and shoved out all this money. And guess what? Some of the shit I might be saying may make me sound like a hater. I don't give a fuck, because what's happened is deteriorated the art form in the space of creativity. Now, if we want to say the creativity is down, I would agree there to some.
No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with him. You think the creativity is down in hip hop?
I actually think the creativity is off the
It's
charts.
better, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with him partially on this about, I don't think artists is working together like they used to and collabing together. But the one thing, and he brought up a number of the albums, you know, Jid, he brought up, you know, Let God Sort Them Out with the Clips, Kendrick, GNX. We brought up Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist and all that. I think the creativity is coming back. Last year was a very good artistic year in hip hop, good year for legacy hip hop. This year alone, and we've only had the first quarter in hip hop, right? We've had 4 #1 albums in hip hop. Kanye West Bully Under Controversy went #1. ASAP Rocky went #1. J. Cole, of course, Fall Off, which has done very well, very good rollout. It's gotten pretty good reviews. The fans love that album. You know what I mean? And what's the other one? And Don Toliver, which is a very underrated, you know, melodic hip hop artist in that Travis Scott type of lane. But he's a very good artist, very talented artist. And we didn't even mention Baby Keem, that I think went to #2, which received a lot of critical acclaim. He's probably going to have a #1 or some high charting hits. I'm sure a video is going to come out with him and Kendrick. You know, so, and not to mention the legacy artists too, like T.I. T.I. has a gold record already. T.I., and he's a legacy artist, has been in this game, I mean, over 25 years? And he's making a comeback, just like the Clips did last year. So what did I miss? It's like, I mean, my banner says, like, what did I miss? Are we really missing Drake in the mainstream?
I think another thing too, I think what happened is Drake is the one that's really not working with too many people. If you look at all of these artists, they're kind of still working together, and they working with the people they usually work with. Like Freddie Gibbs usually work with. J. Cole didn't work with Drake, but Kendrick was supposed to be on this album. Kendrick Lamar was on a couple of different records. He was on Baby Keem's album. He was on the Clips album. He was on what's the name album 3 times. What's his name? Playboy Carti album 3 times.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's people not work. I just think that void or that hole that Drake had possessed and put out there, it's gone. And people are so used to seeing him outside. Even though he dropped a whole bunch of songs, they're so used to seeing Drake and what's his name? We the Best and Rick Ross and all of them. It was dominating. I'm talking like DJ Khaled. All of them was putting out music together. All of them was doing that. Now you don't see that. You don't see none of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to me, it's the reason why I think that you don't see that no more is because of what happened in the battle. And now, I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to explain in a way. I really don't know why Drake kind of walked away the way he did. I really don't know. I think he's really in his feelings, like. But outside of that, man, like it's gotten to the point, man, where
Drake's not working with other people, or is it people are not really rocking with Drake? I think that's the better question, because I think it's more the latter than the former. But I think also the people that Drake usually went to, the 21 Savage, the Young Thugs, the what's his name? Lil Baby, you know, they're not hot no more, dog. They're not hot. That Atlanta trap sound is just another subgenre right now. It's not the one that's dominating the clubs anymore. I think we're searching for that next big sound in hip hop, but the ATL sound is not it no more. Now, Future's a different case, because Future can stand on his own. You know what I mean? Future is that guy. Whatever he puts out, he makes his own wave. He is of that ilk of a Kendrick and a Drake, where he doesn't need anybody. He just gets Metro Boomin or Zaytoven and boom. You know what I mean? But outside of a Future, that Atlanta sound is dead, bro. Like, and I think people are searching for a new sound to occupy most of the mainstream.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think once We Don't Trust You came out and that Like That verse came out, that changed everything. That album, to me, that's actually a pretty good album, but it changed everything. And then after the battle, it just feel like the Great Reset happened. Kendrick Lamar removed a bunch of different things. He kind of made it open for a lot of artists to just basically do what they want to do.
Yeah.
But
that verse changed a lot. You know what? I'm gonna review that We Don't Trust You album again. I reviewed it. It was pretty good, but I gotta review it again later, because that was a different kind of album. It had a different type of aura around it.
Well, part two,
go ahead.
Part 2 is better to me. It got better beats.
Part 2 is more of a pop, more radio album.
Yeah,
but
I like part 2 a little bit better.
Part 1 was dark though.
Yeah,
that was a dark album, but I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. It had a lot of grit to it.
Yeah,
it reminded me in a weird way. I mean, they're two totally different artists. It reminded me of like something Eminem would do, like those dark type of albums he made in the 2000s. You know.
Yeah,
it had a dark vibe to it, and I really got to review that album again. I'm gonna get back to that.
Yeah, man. But I think that people just making excuses up to make it because they want to push Iceman up, but honestly, this is it. This is it for him, man. This is really it. Like, to be honest with you, I'm just gonna be straight honest with you. Album's gonna do well because of his name. But off of just going off the past albums he have done, last 5 albums, 6 albums he have done, this ain't gonna be a good album.
Well, you know what? Let's get to that.
Yeah.
The Iceman album propaganda.
Yeah.
Because in the end of the day, and this is just my opinion, I think all of this foolishness that's going on with the game saying, 50%, the game is down 50% in hip hop. People aren't selling like they used to. People ain't working together, all of that. It's coming from certain outlets. It's coming from Isaac Hayes III, who is a Drake apologist. DJ Academics, the What's the Dirt of the world that are pumping up, Iceman, Maul on Rory and Maul, Joe Budden's podcast. That I think Joe Budden's what he wants to do is I think Joe Budden's wants to create the dynamic between Kendrick and Drake, so he has that kind of back and forth to get his listener audience up to go at him. You know what I mean? So what do you make about this Iceman propaganda? Because the game needs Drake to save the game. It's all bullshit propaganda to me.
Yeah, I think that, and I'm just going to just be honest with you. I think a lot of artists are jealous of Kendrick. I have to say that because what is the difference? Kendrick Lamar has broken records. He damn near has every album he puts out is a classic. And he surpassed Drake. His album GNX was beating Drake's album even after it came out a year. It still was beating his album. I believe it's like almost 5 times platinum now, GNX.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or something like that, right? So I think people got to the point where they have to feel like we need a win for Drake. We need a win because it's the same thing.
Sorry for Drake,
right? It's the same thing that they were doing when the shoe was on the other foot, when it was Drake. In a way, people was, and I'm gonna be honest with you, people was hating on Drake because he was on top. People was hating on him, but for good reason. But people was hating on him. I think now you got to the point now where people see Kendrick on top, and he did it legitimately. He didn't do it like on some propaganda. He didn't do no fake nothing. He didn't no gimmicks, none of that. He just did it off of pure talent, and then he smoked Drake. I'm talking like beat him really bad, and people like, well, this can't be real. So you know what we gonna do? We're gonna create a smear campaign, and we're gonna say Kendrick Lamar had help from the record labels. We're gonna say that all of those not like us. That's not even a part of the battle. We're gonna try to do anything we can to push Drake's Iceman or Drake up, and then when Iceman come out, it's gonna go number 1, and then we're gonna say, see, he's number 1. That's basically what they want. They doing all of this propaganda so Drake can be said that he saved hip hop. That's what they want.
Well, I totally agree with you on that. Like, first of all, this album is going to do numbers. I mean, I've probably said this on the show before. I think the album is, at one point, I thought it was going to flop. Maybe not even do 150K the first week. I think this is going to do 350,000 the first week, about that. But I think it's because of this propaganda machine. And I think people now, and this is my problem with it, it's not about the music anymore. Because I'll just tell you my early predictions on Iceman. One, he is going to diss Kendrick in some way, shape, or form. I think it's going to be more subliminal. I don't know what this is about Mr. Bot, or what was the name of the album? I think it's called Project Bot or whatever, and they're shooting a music video with explosions or something like that.
Yeah.
In Toronto. I think what's going to happen is there's going to be a single. I don't think Drake is going to release a cold album like that out of the blue. That's going to be the first single. There's going to be a lot of energy behind it. And I think they're going to be shots at Kendrick. Mm-hmm. But I think what they're building up is, and you see it. You see it on the Joe Budden podcast. You see it on a lot of these outlets. They want to reignite this thing. And I think this summer it's going to get reignited. They want this. But I think, is it going to be more? And this is my fear, is I don't think the album is going to be all that. It's going to be another mediocre Drake deal that we've been getting for the last 10 years. And people are going to prop it up because it's reigniting the beef. You know what I mean? And listen, this time right now is the time that all of the nation of Kendrick, nation of Drake, the nation of Drake, man, all of their propaganda artists, What's the Dirt, Maul, DJ Academics, all of these people, Fat Joe, all of them, they're building their narratives up now for what it's going to do and getting ready to twist the hell out of any type of story to make it look like a win for a Drake. So I agree with you on that. And I think people are going to get more invested in the narrative more than the actual music. And that's what sucks because hip hop is good right now. I don't need the narrative. I want my music.
Yeah. You know? I definitely think that Drake's going to try to put a narrative on Kendrick because the only thing I will say about especially how life is now, it could be a fabricated lie. Like you could say somebody was a PDF file, right? Whatever. And they could be proven that they wasn't. But people are always going to believe what they want to believe. I think that this is what Drake is going to try to do.
It's the My Truth era. It's the My Truth era. There's no
Drake's going to say, if I can just say and make a hit saying that Kendrick is a project and they helped him with bots, and that's the reason why he won this battle, and it's a hit, then people gonna run with it. They're gonna be like, yeah, well, they helped him. Even if they have no proof, they're gonna be like, they helped him though. They helped him though. Like, that's what it is. And I think Drake
knows what he's gonna do.
He knows exactly.
He's gonna go that route.
He knows that he can manipulate people by doing this. Now, the thing is, where he goes wrong, and where most of them go wrong, is Kendrick can do the same thing. And 10 times better. You know what I'm saying?
But see, what he doesn't realize is Kendrick already sees what you're doing.
Yeah.
He already sees the lawsuit. He sees it all. So you don't think he's ready for that? You know what I mean?
Waiting for the lawsuit to be over. I think he's waiting for it to be over. Once it's over, what people got to understand is Kendrick Lamar can really end Drake's career today if he wanted to. He could anything Drake does, if Drake drops an album and Kendrick drops an album, Kendrick's going to sell more than him. Everybody knows this. They hoping, and that's why people keep saying, is Kendrick going to step on Drake? You never heard this before. You never heard anybody say, is anybody going to step on Drake? Now you can't say that Drake is the bigger artist if Kendrick comes out and you say he might step on him. Well, I thought Drake was the bigger artist. You get what I'm saying? So I think that we got into this point with Drake is the propaganda machine is 100% at work. They're working for him. You see What's the Dirt? You see Academics. You see Fat Joe. You see all of the Game. All of them are out there. They're running plays for him. They're running plays. Oh, did he really lose that battle? They're running plays for him now. And he might be giving them some kickback. He might be throwing them some money, whatever. Because I don't think
Academics is so pathetic. It's like every other day now. He's like, Iceman is coming. Like it's pathetic, bro. It's so pathetic what he's doing. Oh my God.
I think he's gonna drop Iceman. It's gonna do good maybe the first 2 weeks. And then after that, it's gonna fall.
I think the battle is coming back.
You think they're gonna battle
back this summer? And the funny thing is like I like hip hop as it is now, like because I think hip hop is getting back its creativity. Like all the number one albums I mentioned, from Don Toliver to Kanye to J. Cole, they all have different sounds and they all went number one. I mean, I want hip hop to get back to being about the music and what these artists. I love how J. Cole did his press run after the first week sales and after that, because he said, I don't want to affect people's listening of the music, and then I'll tell my story. I like that.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, Drake is gonna drop a single. They're gonna be shots at Kendrick, and it's gonna be back on, and everybody's gonna be like, "All right, we're back into it." Kendrick, you got 24 hours to drop. Watch, it's gonna go down this summer.
I agree. I agree. Man,
And it's gonna shift back from the music to the beef narrative.
Yeah.
Oh, who's got this? Who's got dirt on this one? Who? It's gonna go all the way back, and I wanted to get away from that. You know what I mean? Because the one thing, yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I really hope that Drake is prepared for this one here. Because if Kendrick Lamar dropped Not Like Us and it did that, that's the last diss track. Every time, I'll put it to you like this, man. Every time I see Kendrick Lamar do something, he always exceeds my expectations. I think at this point in his career, he's on fire so high right now that I don't think he's even going to engage with Drake anymore. I just think about it. And the reason why I say that is because, I mean, he really don't have to. Like, if Drake comes out with a crazy song and disses Kendrick, I definitely think Kendrick is going to do something. But if the song ain't inspiring him, or if it ain't going to move him, he ain't going to do anything.
But the thing about it is it may not be all that. It may be an okay song, but it's not just Drake. It's Drake and the propaganda machine.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Propaganda machine and the nation of Drake are going to drive this thing. Yeah. And that's why I think it's going to be get ignited. But I already think Kendrick has songs ready now.
Yeah.
I mean, he has songs probably on the lawsuit. You know what I mean? Because the lawsuit really happened post-battle. You know what I mean? But I'm going to tell you what. You watch out for this. And I think this is the play Drake is going to use. He's going to say, listen, the game been around. I've been out the game, or I took a little break for a year, and Kendrick, you ain't do shit with it, blah, 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 because we're your number ones without dissing me, right? And he's pretty much going to say, like, all right, now that I'm back, let's go match me number one for number one. You know what I mean? Let's go hit for hit, song for song. Watch. I know that's the play he's going to use. It's similar to what Jay-Z did with Nas. You know what I mean? Remember when Nas beat him with Ether, and Jay was like, all right, I'm going to come at you 10 summers strong now. So every summer I'm going to put out a hot record. I think this is the thing Drake's going to use. And Drake's going to say, hey, I'm telling you he's going to say this. Drake is going to come out and say, you know what? Kendrick inspired me to get back to being a creator. I'm telling you, bro. It's all written. I know this guy. You know the BS he's going to come with. He inspired me to be number one again. Watch.
Yeah, he better.
Propaganda is coming. It's all coming. Watch.
The last song that was number one on hip hop was Luther. Then before that was another Kendrick song. Then before that was another Kendrick has 3 or 4 number one hits. You know what I'm saying? Those are the last number one hits in hip hop.
Telling you, man. Drake is gonna, because I think Drake somehow, some way, he may go number one. He's gonna go with get a number one album, right? But after that, he's gonna say, "All right, Kendrick, where's your number one at?" He's gonna keep. I'm telling you, he's gonna antagonize the dude, dog.
Yeah,
and he's gonna keep coming because I'm coming again, and he's gonna try and make this. Like, let's make it about the charts. You know what I mean? I know what he's gonna do.
I'm telling you, man.
Because that's all he has. He can't put out a classic. He don't got no classics, dude. Drake, maybe. I don't even think Take Care is a classic. I might give you Nothing Was the Same, but the dude don't got no classics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think his problem is he painted himself into a corner. And I think that he should have, after the battle, this is what I think, it's what I would have did. I would have said, good battle. Now let's get back to the music. That's what I would have said. I would have just agreed to it being a good battle. But he what he messed up at, and this will always be forever cemented as the worst thing in hip hop is he tried to sue. And it's still
that down.
It's still going on. So if it's still going on, you're still trying to appeal it, and you drop a diss track on Kendrick, and you in court for the first diss track. Now you back outside trying to put out a new
But the
track.
propaganda machine is gonna try and sweep that under the rug. Watch. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, I did see people say that.
Propaganda machine is there. It's not just Drake. It's Drake in the propaganda machine. Remember that.
He slandered him, man. You can't let that slide. He said,
man.
"Oh,
It's gonna be a hot summer though. I'm glad we got some good music out there though, man. Definitely. And I gotta catch up on reviews myself. You know what I mean? But definitely we got a lot of good music out there. Baby Keem's album's pretty good. You know what I mean? J. Cole. Even though I didn't really speak on it, and I gave a review on the unmastered version about a year ago. Bully is not bad. Like I actually like some songs out of it. A lot of good hip hop out there, y'all. So definitely get to listening. Definitely, it's a good year in hip hop. Anyway, thanks for joining me, bro. Definitely check out Torture Talk, Torture Chamber. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. He's also got a Patreon channel now. Definitely check that out. Over with my man Funeral Man. Definitely like, share, and subscribe to Hip Hop Roundtable Reviews. I'm back into content. I've been away on a little bit of a hiatus, so check out. I'll be back for weekly reviews maybe every couple of days or so, and I'm gonna catch up on some music. So with that, enjoy your night, y'all. Thanks for joining us, and I'll talk to y'all soon. All right, peace.
Peace.